So it's a Friday night. I'm here thinking, what should I call my new videos? I've already got 400 horsepower. What's next for the Eclipse? So after much thought and, just collaboration with others, I've decided to continue this revamp of the 2G, but more track focused now. We did the motor, we did the drivetrain, we did the suspension or coilovers, and that's about it. So power wise, it's all there, it's all good. But now we need to focus on handling. Mitsu Fest is coming up in November, and I'm thinking of running my car during that event. However, it is nowhere near ready, I guess to say, nor the caliber where I want it to be in order to run that event. This is at AAA Speedway in Fontana. Yeah, I believe that's the track it's at. And they have a huge stretch where you can hit close to like 135 miles per hour. And so I want to have, a solid car if I'm going to be doing this. So this new video series is going to be Project 2G Track Prep. So what you can expect to be covered in this series is just stiffening of the chassis, fender braces. We're also gonna focus on brakes, because these brakes fade pretty much in like 2 pulls, so we're gonna need to take care of that. We're also gonna work on lower control arms, more bushings, and probably replace close to every single suspension put on that car. Yeah, so aside from that, rear sway bar as well. You guys haven't seen part 2 of that, so yeah, that's what I wanted to guys let you know. So enjoy the series. Maintenance already. Alright guys, little rant / video I got going on here. I'm going to be explaining to you what problems I've been dealing with the car since the rebuild. One was overheating still, but that was because of my lame ass stock fans that wouldn't kick on at the correct speed they were supposed to. So those are gone, and they were replaced with some SPAL units, which are now more than anything I could ever have dreamed of, so I'm in love with those right now. And 2, I have the biggest exhaust leak ever, and it keeps on coming back. And for those who watch my videos way back when, it's because of these lame ARP exhaust to manifold bolts. They keep on backing out no matter how much I torque them to the correct torque specs, and no matter how much ARP lube or anti-seize lube I put on it. So I know it's leaking already because I can hear it. I'm just gonna take off the heat shield real quick, and I'm gonna show you guys how loose they've gotten since the last time I torqued them, which was about 2 days ago. And I've driven this car for maybe about 100 miles with it loose. So let's get this manifold off. I already loosened the bolts, and we'll see what we're dealing with. Okay, bolts are off, and let's get up close and personal. So these are the bolts in question, so you can see ARP. And the ones that I keep on having problems with backing out are these 2 rear ones. And look, I can already, wow. This one can be moved by hand. And what about this one? This one is loose, but it can't turn. But I know you can hear it, that it's already backing out as well. But this is pretty bad. And as you can see, it's already Let me get a better view under here. It's already distorted my gasket. That used to be flat and now it's all bent and wavy. So we are gonna replace these with some nice OEM bolts. So let's go check those out. Alright, so here are the maintenance items we are gonna be dealing with today. First up on the list is the flywheel transmission cover. I did not have this when we installed it on my car. I don't know where it went, but it's about time I slap this on before anything big or dangerous can get caught in the flywheel, I mean in the clutch system, and destroy my nice clutch. Second, we have just your clutch pedal. Mine is worn out like crazy, so time to replace that. And we also have a clutch pedal stopper. If your clutch has a little bit of play, check if this is actually broken, because a lot of DSMs I've actually seen have this broken, and it kind of adds play to the clutch pedal. And I'm trying to make mine as smooth as possible, so you might want to check that out. Thirdly, we have new exhaust manifold head stud kit. The ones that I got from Matt Performance are kind of weird. I don't like them, so I went with an extreme PSI unit that actually has lock washers, because the Matt Performance one have actually had 2 of these back out as well. So I'm trying to stop all these nuts from backing out, because this car vibrates a lot, and so hopefully those will fix that. And here are the main items. As you can see, we have 4 brand new OEM Mitsubishi exhaust manifold bolts, and these are what's gonna stop everything from backing out. These are the Mitsubishi washers for these bolts. As you can see, they are actually concaved. Let me focus in. Right there. Okay, so they are concave, and as you can see, you need 2 of these on each exhaust bolt. So what you got to do is buy 2 of them for every exhaust bolt, so that's 8 in total, and you got to put 2 of them on top of each other on opposing directions. So let me get it one more. So they would go like that. And once you do that, they actually apply pressure to the bolt, which will help it not to back out. So 2 sides, those sides are gonna go on top of each other, and then you put a bolt through there. So let's go ahead and do that and see what we got. I think I can speak to anyone who's ever worked on a turbocharged car that these 4 bolts are possibly the most scariest bolts to take off, because more likely they're gonna break. So what I found out to be helpful in these kind of situations is to not scrimp on the WD or PB blaster. Luckily, I've also put anti-seize on these bolts. These are the garbage ARP bolts that keep on backing out, so they came out with ease. But if you do feel some resistance while taking them off, try tightening it again, spraying some more WD, and then loosening. Keep on doing that, tight and loosen, because taking these out when they're broken is a lot harder than taking them off when they're solid. So luckily these all came out in one piece. Now I'm just letting the WD soak on the exhaust manifold to head bolts, and then we're gonna remove the manifold. But yeah, just telling you the difference. These came with like a flat washer rather than the concave washers that these OEM ones come. So go with these. I could have probably bought these washers and used these bolts, but I honestly lost my 12-point head 12-point socket for these bolts, so I've been like either tightening them with this when I'm at home, or driving it to my friend's house so I can use their tools to get this. So I'd rather go back to a 6.14 mil, because I know I have this. So, oh, actually, I think the gasket can come off now. Let's see if you can get this here. Nice. This was flat at one point. So yeah, you can see how bad my leak was. Fun. Alright, good thing I got another one of these. Right there. And oh yeah, these are the 6-ply one from Extreme p.o.s, so they're nice and thick and will actually help with that crush effect in case those two surfaces are not flat anymore. So good choice. Alright, exhaust manifolds off. And while you're here, might as well it's a good idea to insert rags or paper towels or cloths into any orifice or hole the engine will have where, you know, exhaust flow is going, because you don't want to get something in there and it pushes it into the turbo, and then that turbine chews it up and spits it out and damages everything. So yeah, clog everything up so nothing will fall on there. And if you guys don't believe me on how much heat this water pipe sees, that's my reflector tape that just melted off. So I'm gonna have to rewrap this a better way. Instead of it being wrapped like that, I'm gonna have to actually like wrap it so that won't happen again. But yeah, just look at the amount of heat that thing was taking. That's why Evos were very smart in moving this to the back of the motor. But anyways, that's out. If you guys want to know how to remove these exhaust studs, it's actually quite easy. You actually have to put 2 nuts back to back like that, and you get 1 wrench and hold that there. If I can even do it. Stay still. Okay, like that. And then you get a socket and put it here, and you tighten it till you meet a good amount of resistance, and then so they will actually lock on each other. So when you go and take that socket to loosen this, it would actually pull out the whole thing. So let me go ahead and show you real quick. Okay, I have tightened it, and then you can actually see that when I move this, oh, it's too tight. When I move this first nut now, it's actually gonna move the whole thing. There you go. Easy as that. And now this should just back out by hand. And it is removed. Alright, let me also show you why I don't like these Matte Performance exhaust studs. It's because they're actually longer than Extreme p.o.s or OEMs. It's not moving. So there you go. You can see that they are longer, so they actually stick out. And I really didn't have a problem, but you could tell like they looked a little weird. So yeah, now let's go ahead and do the complete opposite to install the new ones. Alright, and we got the new Extreme p.o.s exhaust studs mounted. We got the water pipe rewrapped. I just went ham with the gold tape. I didn't care about looks because you hardly see it back there anyways. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get my new OEM bolts with the new gasket, and we're gonna lube them up with some anti-seize paste. And you want to make sure you use a good amount to make sure all the threads are contacting with that paste, because the last thing you want is your brand new bolt seizing, and that's trash. And we're also gonna get the Mutegi lug nuts that I won at Mod installed. But yeah, let's go ahead and get these lubed up and mated with their washers. Alright, exhaust manifold studs are back on. I did end up losing one because the nut it came with was cross-threaded to begin with, so it's kind of like really weird but annoying as well, because I bought these brand new and it ended up just being like bad. Anyways, yeah, it was cross-threaded right at the beginning. So everything felt good going in, but as soon as you got to the tip of the nut, it ended up doing that. So luckily I backed it out, and I just ended up using one of the old ones. But I did get at least the lock washer on the back of that, so hopefully that won't be backing out. But the rest went in, and they're all torqued down. So now, for the most important, the exhaust manifold studs, which are already ready to go with anti-seize paste. And these get torqued down to 44 foot-pounds. All right, let's get it in.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
All right, they have been torqued down to 44 foot-pounds, and as you can see, they now have these washers which are crushing against each other and applying resistance to the bolt, so they will not back out. In theory, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna check in about say 50 miles, let a heat cycle go through them, but hopefully that takes care of my problems. And now we can go ahead and move on to the rest of this stuff. Clutch pedal is fairly easy, just literally, since mine's all beat up, you just pull on it or tug on it, and there you go, there's the old one. And where is the brand new one? I already lost it. Used and not used. You know, for when I'm launching and everything. Okay, this, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need 2 hands, so I'll be back. And there you have it. Just took some fiddling around, but clutch is now in. Now for the clutch stopper, I'm gonna do my best to try to show you guys where this is, but it's all the way up on the clutch pedal. So anyways, as you can see, maybe, maybe not. No, you cannot. Let me get some more light in here. One second. There you go. I still can see it. It's right there where that hole's at. And as you can see it coming down, it's gonna touch that lever up there. And that usually kinda gives some bad signal, especially with what's the word? No lift to shift, so we're gonna put it back in there. Okay, now it's back in there. Hopefully you'll see it now better because it's actually installed rather than it not being installed, but it's that rubber grommet touching that switch right there. Right up there. But yeah, so now that's actually touching the switch, which is giving it a better engagement. Now there's barely any play. Like nothing. Like before, I would press it, nothing, then it would engage, but now it's engage. So you can see that the rod's actually getting activated better. So perfect. And we're done with that. So what is left? The lug nuts and the flywheel shield. All right, guys, we are down here. We got the transfer case removed. Still looking good after 3,000 miles. We got the downpipe unbolted, and we got the new flywheel cover bolted on. It's pretty simple. You just slide it over once you get it, and there's 3 bolts, 1, 2, and 3, which I haven't done right there, and that will protect the flywheel from any dust or debris coming in there. And the transfer case goes over here, so that's going to be covered as well. Now you did take off a lot of stuff, so since you're here, now would be a good time to check up if you need to do anything else, because this was a big pain to do. So maybe make sure, check these oil pan bolts to make sure they're not loose, because these cars like to vibrate a lot, because once this goes back on, that bolt's like nearly impossible to get to. So yeah, that's on, and all we gotta do is now put on the lug nuts, and we're done for this maintenance episode. And now everything's back bolted up where it should be. I honestly hate my exhaust. I think that's gonna be a future video, replacing this whole thing, because as you can see, someone previously chopped off the flanges and welded it to the exhaust system, and honestly it kind of hangs pretty low. So either I'm gonna replace the whole thing, or I'm gonna take it to a shop to get it fixed. The only thing I like about this exhaust is that I actually have that road race stealth tip, and this is actually a Megan Racing downpipe mated to an HKS high power exhaust system. So I actually have the HKS tip, the axle back, that I can switch between this stealth exhaust from road race and the actual HKS high powered unit. I usually run that HKS unit when I'm up north because there's less cops, but down here in LA there's cops everywhere, so I like rolling stealth with that. But other than that, yeah, it's back up, and these T-case bolts are 40 to 44 foot-pounds, so just letting you know. Now let's go get the lug nuts done.
Alright guys, it's just something I wanted to show you. As you can see, we got the old lug nuts off, and we got the new Motegi right here. Something you want to keep in mind is that when you go shop for aftermarket lug nuts, that aluminum ones tend to lose their strength, or their like tightening ability, or they'll get loose more often than forged steel as such. So you want to keep in mind when you're going to be taking off wheels on and off frequently, you probably want to spend a little extra money and go with some higher end lug nuts. I personally haven't had any problems with these yet, but I feel like if I was running drag radials or was constantly changing out tires, these would go out pretty quick. So yeah, something to just keep in mind. And let's go ahead and put these on, and we'll be done with the video. And then once you got them installed, you just want to go ahead and torque them down. Motegi calls for 75 to 85 foot-pounds, and then they want you to retorque them after driving a total of 100 kilometers. I believe that's like 60 miles? Not sure. But anyways, yeah. And then I also want it to be done in a crisscross pattern. So you want to, if you're going to start from this one, you want to go here to here to here to here. It's easy with 5 lugs because just think of it as a star, and then that should be your torque pattern. So let's go ahead and get torquing and finish up. And that's a wrap. Lug nuts installed, tires rotated, everything torqued down. We are good to go for maintenance. Yep. Alright guys, have a good one, and remember to keep boosting.